right, y'all. We are officially 1 month away from NBA basketball. Actually, a little bit sooner than that, just because preseason. But we don't look into that very much. In honor of that, we're going to be ranking some teams based off my own personal watchability and excitement. So, yeah, let's get into it. Okay, starting off good because I'm a lot higher on the Sixers than I think a lot of people are. I think I'm going to go B tier right off rip. Could be moved into A, honestly. But I really do like this roster, and I think they have one of the best balance between young direction and some of their older guys. But if they can all stay healthy, which again, we know that they haven't, still I feel like they have a more younger direction that will carry them through a regular season in a weak East. I mean, the East is fucking weak, and a team needs to step up. So, and there's a few Eastern Conference teams that I'm looking at that I kind of have my eyes on, and they're all going to be relatively in that same group just because I'm curious. I'm excited to see what we get from VJ. What is the ceiling for Tyrese? And I think Paul George can still be impactful if he's on the court. I think he can be efficient if he's on the court. Maybe he'll kind of take a more defensive role, even though he doesn't really sit in the chair like he used to because he's old. I do think that he can play more of a mentor for VJ, for Tyrese. Can't forget about my guy Jared McCain, too. Moving on to Orlando Magic. Now, the last 2 years, I've really enjoyed watching the Magic. And they've been one of my most watched League Pass teams for the last 2 years. So, I've always just kind of been a fan of them. So they're gonna stick an A tier. I think that's probably where they would have been last year, if not S tier, honestly. Really excited to see how Desmond Bane turns out. There's probably going to be a bit of a gelling process, but still really excited to see if it's a shooting curse over there or if they actually got somebody who can, shoot a three-pointer. Seeing the progression of Paulo, Franz. Center minutes are a little bit questionable. Now, I actually don't hate Goga as much as I used to. I used to despise Goga and not think he's very good. But I think he really kind of turned his career around to fit in that system a little bit, give them what they need, at least at a baseline. But I would really like for them to kind of experiment and go after somebody who they do like. Name-wise, I don't know. But just somebody who has a little more upside, kind of fits in their system a little bit more. Wendell's not bad at all. I just think he has had trouble, again, staying on the court. Same with John Isaac. Kind of plays 4-5. But if they're healthy, last year they dealt with the injury bug like crazy, and they were still pretty good for the first half of the season. But the last half of the season, they were terrible, and their offense was just abysmal. Couldn't put the ball in the hoop, especially from three. So I'm looking for a pretty big Magic season. Wizards. Interesting one. I'm gonna go. They do have some guys I like. I like AJ Johnson. I'm intrigued. I actually really do like Alex Sarr as well. Does that make me really want to watch any of their games? No. Sorry. Toronto Raptors, though. Also, another Eastern Conference team that I've been kind of looking at that I really like them on paper. And I think if they stay healthy, they can be a really good regular season team. And even maybe throughout the postseason. I think they are a playoff team. I always liked how the Raptors went a little smaller and athletic with their good teams in the past. I like Scotty a lot. RJ Barrett, been a big fan of RJ for a while. Just lefty guy, you know me. Maybe a jump from Grady Dick. BI, too. I think BI's got everything you need. I think he's long, he's athletic, he's a scorer. I think he fits in with this system very well. Again, longer, athletic, get out in transition type of guy. Same with Scotty, all those guys. So I'm really interested to see how this team gels. Colin Murray-Boyles, I really like as a prospect as well. We got David Roddy, Emmanuel Quickly, Jamal Shed. I don't know. Garrett Temple's still on this roster. Holy shit. Hang it up. Yaka Pearl, too. Forgot they gave him a bag again. I don't know. I'm just very interested about this team, and I'm going to go B tier. Again, they're all going to kind of hover around this tier, I think. Yeah, I'm sorry, Jazz fans. That's all I got to say about that. I am excited about Ace Bailey, though. Portland Trailblazers. Now, you feel what I'm cooking, because I think we just got our first S tier of the video. Shout out my boy Ty. He's over there in Portland now. So I'm no longer Grizzlies repping. Even before he got there, super big into the Portland Trailblazers, especially the second half of last year. I thought they were very fun to watch, and they had a pretty good record too, like 24-17 or something like that. Played some really good ball, and they have so many guys that I'm like so invested in as prospects. I love Shaedon Sharpe, and I'm just waiting for him to take that next step and to really blossom as one of their core guys. Scoot, hoping a better start than last year. Hopefully he can take a jump, just be more polished as a player, not even like crazy numbers wise. But you do obviously hope for that. Denny, I fucking love Denny so much. He's been one of my favorite guys in the league for a couple years. Tamati Kamara, too. Big Kamara guy. I love him. Really excited to see kind of his progression as well. Defensively, I think this team... Donovan Clingan. How could I forget Kling Kong? I just think this team has an identity for a young core of guys who, like, nobody here is like really standing out as like the guy. So it's kind of a collection of guys who have a similar identity, and another team that is a fantastic young old build right now. You know, they got Drew, they got Jeremy, obviously they got Dame. He's not going to be playing, but they got Robert Williams, who's still young, but you know, on that team, Matisse. The last couple of years too, we've seen young teams who we thought weren't on shit come out and have a surprise year. We just saw it with the Pistons. I mean, shit, the Thunder a couple years ago, the Rockets. You know, you see how quickly the Rockets turned around. Super, 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 super excited. Remember, I'm a Portland Trailblazers fan this year. I'm watching 80 plus games. Indiana Pacers, I mean, they kind of fall into that D tier just because of injury. You know, you lost Miles. It's kind of a down year for them, and we all kind of know that. I am intrigued of some guys if they take any other steps. Aaron Nesmith, I love him. Andrew Nimhard. Like, this could be Benedict Mathurin. This could be a big year for some of their younger guys to develop a little bit more. So I will be watching some of their games. Don't get me wrong at all. But based on like an excitement for the next upcoming season, I don't really have any expectations. I think they could sneak into like a play-in. I don't know. The Pacers are always good, or at least decent. You know, they're always at least a play-in team. They're always winning games somehow. So they could move up in this list for sure. Oh shit, we got the Hawks. I believe this is another S tier, baby. Love this roster. Similar to Portland, where, you know, a bunch of young, defensive-oriented, get-out, run-and-gun style type of guys. And, man, I'm such a big Trae Young guy. I think Trae Young's so good. I don't really care what the numbers say. Defensive liability, I get all that. But for him to generate all the offense and do the things that he does at 6 foot at best, 160 pounds. I mean, what he's been doing year in and year out to be like a perennial all-star or borderline all-star guy every single year of his career just speaks volume to him as a player. I was watching his high school mixtape the other day, and I was like, damn, I think he's so good. Also, I love Dyson Daniels more than anything. Again, those defensive get out and transition guys I fucking love. Oh my god, I almost forgot that they got Nah. Yeah, Nah is another one of my favorite guys. I love him. Huge pickup for them. Jalen Johnson had a great year. Honestly, I didn't even know they got Caleb Houston. I actually really like Caleb Houston. I hope he gets some burn for sure. Kobe Johnson, Luke Kennard, Oneka finally gets to start. And I think people are going to realize how just damn good he is. And I've seen him live as well. Like, I worked out with him in an off season, and that guy is a fucking beast. And I think he fits perfect on this team. What do we get from Zachary? Who knows? And then whatever we get from Kristaps, I think he fits good if he's healthy. If not, it's no big deal. I don't think they live or die with Kristaps on this team either way. Probably the most highly anticipated Hawks season since those Al Horford, Joe Johnson, Teague days. You know what I mean? Josh Smith days. Can't forget about him. The Suns. Yuck, huh? The Suns. I'm sorry, Suns fans. Love me some Devin Booker. Another one of my favorite guys. I'm just going to say that about fucking everybody, aren't I? Devin Booker alone. D tier. The Celtics, man. You know, I haven't quite made my mind up about the Celtics yet. I'm going to put them... I mean, I'm from New England, too, so, like, immediately I'm going to be watching games. So they're going to be B tier. I think that they could surprise a little bit more than people are giving them. Again, especially in the East where there are some weaker teams. And people are looking at the East like they're one of the weaker teams, which I get it. You got Kata starting at your center. I mean, I don't know, man. We're about to see Jaylen Brown with his, like, own team. Derek White still. Peyton Pritchard. I think this could be a huge Peyton Pritchard year. Sam Hauser. Let's see what he's got. Jordan Walsh, just kind of see what you got. I don't know. There's just a lot of uncertainty. But again, I'm a New England guy, so like immediately B tier because I'm watching them almost every single night. Brooklyn Nets. I'm intrigued with some of the stuff they got. I don't really have an opinion. I'm always a Nets guy. Like last year, I watched more Nets games than I probably should have. Actually, I'm going to move it to D tier because I love Cam Thomas. And I know I shouldn't, but he's a fucking bucket, and I love watching him. Him and Michael Porter Jr. are going to be hilarious to watch. Like, this team's going to be funny. They're going to suck, but they're going to be funny. Hornets, oh my god, I think Hornets are my last team that I would want to watch in the NBA right now. I'm sorry, Hornets fans, because you've been through the ringer for sure. LaMelo isn't enough for me to watch this team. Con Knipple is not enough for me to watch this team. Fuck Miles Bridges. I don't know. I got nothing to say about them. Bulls. You know, I'm going to put Bulls in the D tier. I respect Kenny. So I'm going to put them in the D tier. The Spurs. Man, Wemby. I'm putting them in A tier. They got so much. Rep the Spurs. You know, this is just a coincidence, honestly. 70s, single stitch, by the way, if you're into clothes. I love the Spurs. Love Wemby. Somebody that I could watch all day long, all night long. A full year of De'Aaron Fox in him. Dylan Harper. Stephon Castle. You know, they just have so much. Man, I love De'Aaron Fox, too. Like, De'Aaron Fox and Wemby are, like, two of my most favorite guys to watch in the league based on, like, their game standpoint. Love how Wemby can just fucking do everything. I love how Foxy is just clutch as hell, fast, and smooth. I've been watching De'Aaron since fucking high school mixtape days. You know what I mean? So to see him in this roster, in a new setting, I'm super excited for. Now, we're going to we're going to go S tier for the Nuggets. Because I kind of want to move the Spurs up. Because Wemby is kind of this... I'm putting the Spurs... Wemby's must-watch TV, man. I'm not missing many Wemby games. And it's the same with Jokic. Now, this roster is going to be fun as hell. Brucey Brown's back. Christian Brown. Moses Brown. Aaron Gordon. Tim Hardaway. Honestly, I really liked Tim Hardaway last year with the Pistons. So I'm kind of excited to see if he can give them any. Peyton Watson, too. Been a big Peyton Watson guy for a little bit. Julian Strother. Jalen Pickett, too. Just some of the younger guys get in there, and, you know, Jokic makes them always look pretty good. So, but yeah, I mean, it's Jokic. I'm not missing a game of Jokic. The Cleveland Cavaliers. I think I'm going to put the Cavs in A tier. Probably A tier. I love Dono. And again, another one of those guys that I watch that, like a Devin Booker, who's just so smooth, so strong, gets to his spots so effortless, it looks like. And he's like a jump shot guy. Like, he jumps on his jumper. And I love guys like that. A tier for them. You know, I love Emob. Excited to see kind of another progression of him, to see if he can kind of take another step. I love DG as well. I used to like him a little more than I do now. Yeah, I think another huge year for the Cavs, and I think they're fun to watch. Lakers, must-watch TV. That's all I gotta say. Bron, I don't know how many years we're gonna have left of Bron, so I'm watching every fucking game that I can. Luka, watching every game I can. Love JJ. You know, I don't love the roster. DeAndre Ayton's a little questionable. I like AR, but I'm not the biggest fan. I don't even know why either. Like, I think his game's smooth, and what he provides is really cool for them. But I just never really been like a huge AR guy, and I don't really like their bench either. So, but must watch TV. It's the Lakers. All right, I'm just throwing it all in S tier now, aren't I? But the Rockets are S tier. They are must-watch. KD, again, same thing. Like, I'm not missing out on a lot of KD games. Another one of my favorite fucking players ever. I love Kevin Durant. I love Amen Thompson. Sucks that Freddie tore his ACL. That is terrible news for them. But Reed Shepherd, the Grizzlies, man. I mentioned earlier, I no longer am repping the Grizzlies. I do not like this roster whatsoever. I love Jalen Wells. We'll always like to watch some Ja. But, man, not a good roster. I have no opinion on this team right now. So, honestly, I'm going to say F tier right now. I'm not watching many of these games. I'm not going to lie. Clippers. Ooh, Clippers are a good one, man. I'm intrigued by the Clippers, obviously. I think they're one of the better teams in the league for sure. They got a lot of shit going on right now, though. I'll tell you, a lot of shit going on. It could change. I'm going to have to put them in either A or B tier. I'm probably go A just for the respect aspect. I think they're going to be really good. Or disappointing. But either way, I'm going to be watching. So it's going to be A tier. You know, I'm so tempted to put the Mavs. I feel like I got to drop some guys down out of S tier, because the Mavs are one of those other teams too that I'm watching a lot of games this year. I think they're going to be really good. I'm so excited to watch Coop. You know, Maynor. Respect the fuck out of Cooper Flag and put Freeport, Maine on the map. Dante Exum, love me some Dante Exum. Derek Lively, Najee, Caleb Martin. They got D'Lo, yuck. PJ, Clay. I don't know. Good fucking roster. Really excited. I'm just going to put them in A tier, though, because they're kind of in the same group of these guys, in my personal opinion. Pelicans. Oh, boy. I said this shit about the Hornets earlier. If it wasn't for Zion... Oh, man. I don't know. I barely watched any Pelicans games last year. I mean, I really don't like this roster or this team at all. But I'm going to go D just for the respect of Zion. I don't care if he's healthy or not. He's enough for me to watch at least a couple games, be at least somewhat invested for like the first 15 games until he gets hurt and he's out for 5 games and then they suck. You know what I mean? So, but he does look skinny. Man, I really like the Thunder, obviously. Like, they're fun to watch, and they're definitely must-watch TV. I love their roster. But they have my respect. I'm going to go A tier. I know what they are, so I'm less intrigued by them, if that makes sense. But obviously, the best team in the league by far, so they get my respect, and there's no disrespect there being it. The Knicks. Man, the Knicks are another one that I want to put in S tier because of last year. I watched fuck it, I'm putting them in S tier. Jalen Brunson, come on. Cat, I love Cat. I really like the Knicks. The last 2 years, I have enjoyed watching the Knicks so much, especially when they kill my friend's Celtics and my Celtics kind of involuntarily. They got Celtics killers over there. Never mind. They took a good step forward this year. And honestly, I said this shit about the Cavs earlier, but the East does run through them. It's theirs to lose for sure. This roster is fucking stacked. Timberwolves, I'm going to go B tier, man. Ant is phenomenal. And Ant alone will get me to watch, 60 plus games, especially nationally televised games. And I'm not missing games. But this roster really isn't that good. It's one of the teams that I'm most disappointed in. You're relying a lot on Rob Dillingham to be something. And quite honestly, I don't know if he gave you any hints towards him being able to be something last year. Now, you didn't really give him a lot of opportunity. But, man, I just don't really know if I like the fit of this roster together. It just kind of seems boring, and they're not really respecting how good Anthony Edwards is right now. So, I don't know. I'm just kind of disappointed by them. Pistons are in the same boat. They were probably my most watched team last year, them and the Knicks. However, a lot of the reason I liked them was because of Malik Beasley. And obviously he's got his own fucking shit going on right now. But I like how they kind of got some shooting back with Debo, Duncan. Again, New Hampshire guy. I'll always rep Duncan. And I just feel like this team relies a lot on Cade. And I'm really hoping that Asar or Ron Holland can kind of be that second star, kind of how J-Dub did with Shea. And now two totally different situations and teams and players being okay, I am the second star you are building around. I am a cornerstone piece. And I just don't think they have that right now. And I think this season, I'm really intrigued to see who becomes that. Steph Curry, man. I'm going to go, Steph Curry. I mean, it's either A or B. I'm going to just go B for now because, the rest of the roster isn't great around them. I really like Quentin Post, and I'm excited to see a full season with Jimmy, whatnot. But other than that, I mean, I like me some Draymond too every once in a while. I like AirPods. See what happens with Kuminga. I don't know. They haven't done shit. They lost Loondog. I don't know. I'm kind of disappointed in them, but they got Steph Curry. Miami Heat. I'm gonna go D tier for the Heat too. They're just not very exciting. I'm not actually. I'll go C tier just because the East is pretty weak, and they might be a little bit better than people expect, or than I expect. But just from a watchability standpoint, who am I watching? Bam? Tyler Hero? I don't really want to watch that. And then the Kings, F. That video over.